Well, everybody, I'm Cantonese Cat. Hey, everybody, Cantonese Cat here. I cannot be bearish on the chart of Tesla. This is the monthly chart of Tesla. I'll just tell you a couple of things I'm seeing here. I mean, first of all, just without any indicators, I'm just going to pull off the Bollinger Band here. It looks like a bull flag. It looks like it's just consolidating sideways, looking for another move, and the move is probably going to be up based on the appearance. I mean, you have a bull flag over here that didn't work out, right? So nothing's ever 100%. But if you look on a higher time frame, this also looked like a big giant bull flag, I guess, But regardless, this is not entirely helpful because there is some inherent bias when it comes to looking at bull flags. So let's look at some objective indicators here. The objective indicator that I'm going to show is the Bollinger Band, which gives you two pieces of information. First piece of information it gives you is the basis over here, which is the 20-month moving average. Whenever things start to kind of roll over, and whenever things start to kind of backtest to 20 from above, and you're looking like you might have a little bit of a trend change here, it looks like it just kind of broke underneath the 20-month moving average. And it just dropped way below, and when it did that, it just hit the lower Bollinger Band, right? And after that, it just got way too far, way too fast. It had to retrace back to the mean, so it bounced all the way back up to the 20-month moving average. Initially, it did end up reclaiming that above it here a little bit. The problem is that it wasn't able to serve as good support because the 20-month moving average was still downward sloping. So there's a moment on vulnerability that the bears had picked up on. They decided to tank the stock further. And it still got bounced up, but it's still not holding because it's still negative sloping. So we end up having this shenanigans in 2024 where it went underneath below $200 for another few months. But something great has happened really around June to July 2024 is that the 20-month moving averages really start to curl up. Whenever I see something like this, it really does signify a trend change because over here you can clearly see that it was serving as support but weak support, and it broke down underneath, backtest failed, and then now backtesting again. Passed, got back above. We closed the month 3 months in a row so far. I mean, this month's not closed yet, but so far we have about 3 months of price action above a rising 20-month moving average. That's a positive. Last time when we see a very similar appearance that looks like that, it was here. It looks very, very similar, right? And even this over here was underneath a negative sloping 200 moving average, 20-month moving average. And even then, it looks like it was really kind of flattening. It was the bulls were looking for a moment of vulnerability to kind of push through. It did end up back testing that during COVID, I suppose, and then it just kind of went to the moon after that. Do I think that we're going to go to the moon like we did over here and make like a 40x? I don't think so. I think that this cycle is going to be a lot more muted if it goes up. I can see it anywhere around this range, maybe like a 4 or 5x over the next 2 to 4 years potentially. I can see that happening. But it's very, very important to note that the 20-month moving average is pointing up and the Bollinger Band is squeezing. So it's probably not going to make a big giant move anytime soon. It might take another couple months for it to really try to consolidate. And even if it decides to make a giant move, the initial move most likely will end up getting rejected. I can totally see it going up to like, it's Tesla. It can do whatever it wants, right? But I can totally see it can push up to like 300, which should be maybe way outside the upper Bollinger Band, or even up to like the 360s, 370s, or even the previous all-time high around 400. They got rejected immediately, and it could make a very, very brutal move. It can even be like negative 30 or 40%. Something got people to really get freaked out. And I'm talking about the future here, but because of what I'm seeing, I think it might play out, and then it might go up a lot further over the next 3 to 5 years because of a trend change over here. A couple other things to look at a monthly chart. Another thing that I think is very, very positive is so far for the month of for the month of September, everybody was just so super bearish in September, right? So far, what have we done so far? Nothing. It's just an inside candle over here, consolidation, still inside the monthly Ichimoku cloud, still above the bottom of the Ichimoku cloud, still above the Tenkan Kijun on the monthly. So I think we're just going to probably end up consolidating over here maybe for another couple of months before trying to break out. And when you break out initially, you're probably going to end up back testing the cloud, right? So there's a lot of confluence in terms of what I'm seeing. both in terms of the Bollinger Band, in terms of the Ichimoku cloud. That's how I see it kind of getting played out. But regardless, this is a bullish development. It really is a bullish development. Looking at the weekly chart, I still think it's probably going to end up getting stuck in a range like how it did over here. It got stuck in a range between the Tenkan and the bottom of the cloud and the Kijun, right? Here, I think it's going to get stuck between the Tenkan and Kijun inside the cloud here, maybe for at least for another few weeks, maybe a little bit longer, to kind of consolidate before breaking out of the cloud and going up higher. You know, that's kind of where I'm seeing in terms of looking at the weekly Ichimoku cloud. The Super Ichi cloud is basically telling the same thing, maybe a little bit more range bound between the Tenkan up here, maybe even break out above a little bit, but I think it's probably going to be range bound right around here for quite a few weeks before doing anything. Part of the reason why I think it's going to be range bound is because I can see this being very, very similar to what it did over here. Over here, the bull support band, which is shown here on orange, is resistance here, but it has been flipped into support. But you still have these wicks over here, so I think people are still trying to sell, and it's still getting stuck in a range here. So I can totally see it kind of stuck in a range here for another few weeks, while it gets closer and closer to like a slightly rising bull support band, and then eventually it's going to end up pushing price up above, because we are having a trend change from a negative sloping to a positive sloping bull support band. I can see that happening, but I can see that also going for another like 4 to 5 to 6 or 7, 8 weeks of sideways. I can totally see that happen too. If Tesla does not listen to me, if it ends up going crazy, I think that it's far more likely for it to go up than to go down based on what I'm seeing. It's just made a higher high over here compared to here, right? And it's just made a higher low over here compared to here. This is a bull trend. I can see consolidating sideways here for a little longer, and it'll, you know, people are going to get so frustrated, going to get so scared. If people got scared last week when price went to like from like 235 all the way down to like the 209, like people were freaked out by that little move right there. I don't know what to say. All I say is that I am happy with where Tesla is right now as we speak, and I think it's going to go sideways, but I really do think that it's going to go up over time. I can check out the couple other indicators here too, right? The MCDX Plus is positive. There's some bearish momentum coming, and the on balance volume has really been absolutely incredible, right? The weekly imbalance volume, I'm going to show you a couple of things here. During this whole downtrend around 2023, you have a very nice bullish divergence as price continue to go down, and as the unbalanced volume continues to go up, right? And you can see that that has already played out. You have this big giant move up, right? Because of some pretty strong bullish divergence that's been building up. It basically just erased the entire downtrend for like, how long has it been? From like July all the way to July. It erased the entire downtrend of the entire year within like a couple of months, right? Because of a strong bullish divergence that's been building. But what's been happening right now, as you have price kind of going up, and you have unbalanced volume right now, what is it doing? It's going down. Matter of fact, if you measure it from over here, you can see this is a hidden bullish divergence. You continue to have some secret sauce buying pressure behind the scene for Tesla. And to me, and I can be completely wrong about this, to me, there's nothing to be scared about it when it comes to Tesla. There's just a lot of things I'm seeing that is telling me that Tesla is going to do pretty darn good moving forward. As price go kind of sideways here, I think I want to see our side continue to kind of maybe rise up a little bit. I don't really want to run into a bearish divergence and to price going down further before going up. But I just see that Tesla is going to go sideways, and it's going to be pretty decent in terms of what it's going to do over the next 12 to 18 months is my best guess, right? I do want it to clear the 2-week Ichimoku cloud, and I can see it getting back above the Ichimoku cloud, into the Ichimoku cloud here, maybe after another 4 to 8 weeks or so. I can see that. After that, we'll see. We get rejected here, go down, or we end up just breaking through and come back and back test it. But I'm seeing that because it's just gotten rejected from the 2 Ichimoku cloud once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5th time, 6th time, 7th time, 8th time, 9th time, 10 times, 20 times, 1,000 times. Basically, just so much pressure is being built up in Tesla. It's ridiculous. I totally see a double bottom kind of formation, and a lot of the demand is rising, and a lot of the supply has already been kind of eaten over the last couple of years. I am bullish on this chart. I continue to buy Tesla. The lower it gets, the better, and I'm happy to have gotten accumulate even more down here in hindsight, because my cost average is under 200, and I'm very happy about it. Anyway, I just want to share some quick thoughts on Tesla. I'm not freaked out. You do whatever you want to do. I'm also not euphoric. Whenever you have a plus 4% day for Tesla, it's like nothing. I wouldn't be euphoric. It's just another day. It's probably going to go sideways for maybe another few weeks. I'll be very happy when that happens because I get to buy a little bit more. Anyway, take care. Have a good one. Bye.